Well, not how I wanted to start my 2025. I was just laid off. This is actually the first time I've ever been laid off, so I don't really know what to even do or how to process anything. I just dropped off my laptop. It sucks the most because I seriously was only at this company for 2 months. I literally got this job in October and loved every single second of it. Unfortunately, the company was acquired and a lot of us were let go. Nothing you can do about it, but it definitely sucks. I have no idea what I want to do. I don't know if I want to even keep working for a company or what. I got my real estate license back in early October. I'm like, maybe I should just pursue that. But I also really liked the idea of having like a stable income with a job. I'm also getting married this year and have lots of expenses. So yeah, I still know it's going to be a great year. Like, I'm truly trying to be positive. I know everything happens for a reason, but yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
How we all doing? I wanted to hop on here and talk to you guys just about a little bit of a life experience that I had today. So I was laid off from my very cushy job, sort of unexpectedly, and damn, does it suck. Like, it fucking sucks. Doesn't suck so much because of the fact that I love the job. More so, if anyone has ever been in this position before, it's that crazy and unwavering feeling of uncertainty that sets in, and almost panic when you start trying to figure out in your head what your options are. Definitely not a fun experience. I'm kind of at a loss right now as far as what my next steps are going to be. But on the other end, I'm a glass half full type of person, and I'm gonna choose to go ahead and see this as God's plan for me. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not upset and hurt or whatever you want to say because I love the job. Truth be told, I didn't like the people. I didn't like the ownership. I thought it was very almost a sleazy business and how they ran it. So I think it's definitely a good thing that I'm out of that situation, and I'm going to see it as God's plan to push me to something else. And I don't really take it as coincidence that just a couple weeks ago I decided to start TikTok shop. I'm really hoping that that's God's plan for me. But if it's not, then I have all the confidence that he's going to push me and show me the right direction that I'm intended to go. But yeah, the initial phases of it, like the first wave of being laid off, if you guys haven't been through it, it stinks. Definitely hard to deal with. You have to kind of just take it and go with it, and that's what I'm gonna do, or at least try to do. Is I'm gonna try and spend time not being upset and instead putting my nose to the grindstone and working and looking to find something as a substitute. Like I said, I hope God's plan is TikTok shop for me so I can change my financial situation as well as the financial situation of my family members. And if it's not, then I'm going to, like I said, put my nose to the grindstone and start looking around and seeing what options are out there. Yeah, it stinks and it's not easy, but we take it and we go. My dad told me one time, every morning the train's going to show up and you have to get on the train. You just have to. So that's what we're going to do. Tomorrow morning, the train's going to come and we're going to get on the train and we're going to keep pushing.
So I posted a video yesterday about how I was fired, And yes, I was fired from my corporate job. I was a contractor with a tech company, and it came extremely unexpected. I think I'm out of tears because yesterday I felt like I got sucker punched, and I went on a date with a guy, and it was the most amazing date, and then he ghosted me. That was the feeling. But as much as I want to sit here and wallow and be upset, which I have every right to be, I am just thinking about how grateful I am to have support from my friends and just a network and community of people who care about me and people who reached out to me and made sure that I was okay. And I also know I'm not a huge spiritual person, I guess to say, but I know that he works all things together for the good, and I have been kind of strayed away from my faith. And just last weekend I actually ended up going to church for the first time in over a year, and I felt great, and I just felt the Spirit of the Lord with me, and I was so thankful for him for all the doors he's opened for me. And then this happened, but I'm not gonna stop praising his name. And I know that no matter how bleak it looks right now, I'm literally my comeback is next, you know what I mean? And that's gonna be greater than anything. And I know that he can open any doors and get me in rooms with the right people, and so I am gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. And I just hope this message encourages anyone who may have lost a job, got laid off or something, and you're just what the fuck am I supposed to do now? I have to pay my bills, I have to do this, I have to do that, and I have to do that. But I just know somehow, some way I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna make it every day, every month. The rent's gonna be paid, the bills are gonna be paid, and that's because that's how good he is. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Have a great Saturday. Mwah.
Well, remember when I said things couldn't get any worse between, the family thing is going on, I had to return my computer because of that, my husband's surgery, everything else? Well, I just got laid off. I just found out, and I don't have a job anymore. So not only is my husband going for surgery on Thursday, financially we've got stuff going on. Yeah, I no longer have a job. So cool. I mean, at this point, 2026 has to be my year, because 2025 is really fucking sucking right now. I sort of knew this was happening, and I, had talked about my job not going well, but I was blindsided. I really didn't think it was going to happen today or this month. So yeah, here I am. I hope your day is going well. Okay, bye.
I wanted to jump on here as a reminder to everyone watching that redirection is not always a bad thing. Back in 2024 of February, I was laid off from my job. I worked with the company for 7 years plus, and I was very surprised and very hurt that I was experiencing something like this because I didn't prepare for it. I guess I can say that I learned a lot along the way, and I was not expecting to be laid off for 9 months. 9 months. 9 months, guys. I was not prepared. And that's okay, because everything happens for a reason, and God had a plan for me. Unfortunately, during the process of being laid off, feeling let down, feeling not good enough, feeling like, what did I do wrong? Why me? How are we gonna, I felt useless because I wasn't contributing. I was getting unemployment, but everyone knows that takes some time. It was a process to apply. It's something I never experienced before, and there's a first for everything in life. And again, I was so ungrateful because I wasn't enjoying the moment. I wasn't thinking about, now I have all this time to spend with my daughter. Although I was making the most out of every day, and I was showing up, and I was applying, and I was going on interviews, I did everything to keep myself from being sad and being, negative. I tried to be as positive as I can, and just, everyone's like, oh, enjoy the moment. You have all this time now with your daughter. You're so lucky. Trust me, it didn't feel that way. It was very
sad because it had been so long since I had that much time off. You know, I would take vacation here and there. I had maternity leave after I had my kid. But it was just a different experience because I had nothing to look forward to. I knew, oh my God, when am I gonna get a job? When am I gonna get hired? I did get some offers, but the money wasn't right. Or, I was expected to go back into the office, and I also didn't feel that ready leaving my daughter. I didn't have a daycare set up. So this experience really did push me in the right direction. I was able to find employment towards the end of the year. I'm so grateful. I love the direction that I'm going in, and I'm excited for what's to come. So for anyone in the situation, don't give up on yourself. Apply yourself. Think out of the box. Pray. Do things that are going to help uplift you. Maybe even pivot in your career, because you just never know. Learn a new skill even. Sometimes, something you're passionate about that you've been sleeping on, and now you have the time to pursue it. Redirection is not always a bad thing, and I just want to encourage everyone to do better. It's a new year. And most importantly, don't give up on yourself, because you are that girl or you are that boy. And before I end this very long TikTok, I just want to thank my tribe for showing up for me, for calling me and checking on me, and also just being the positive voice I needed to hear when I was really going through it. And I was very private about this because I was just so hurt and in like a sad place, but it just feels so good to overcome that, after so many months. So thank you guys. I really do appreciate you.
LinkedIn news just caught my eye. Mark Zuckerberg stated that he is letting 5% of Meta workforce go, saying that they are raising the bar on performance to move out low performers. He also stated that it's going to be an intense year. Well, let me just tell you, we all know why it's going to be an intense year. You reap what you sow. You are a horrible human, and now everybody is starting to rebel against Meta. The only bad part is there are a lot of people that are collateral. He may be losing billions, but the thing is, that's not even going to touch his overall net worth. I actually have friends that are employed by Meta, and those are the people that are going to end up being affected. They are going to feel us leaving, right? I am fully planning on ditching Facebook. Instagram, it's hard to part ways with because I have family on there. Facebook I do too, but I'm just so over Facebook anyways. Instagram, I still feel somewhat of a connection and can at least stay in touch with and see pictures of family and stuff. So it's hard when you have that, family all across the U.S. I cannot stand Mark Zuckerberg, and I think he is truly one of the most deplorable humans possible. But we have to realize the collateral of these actions are going to be affecting hundreds of people. He's already implementing it. If I worked for Meta, I'd be looking for a different job. I would have looked for a different job years ago. I am not a fan of big business. I have worked for big employers and never again. I think it'd be wise for Meta employees to start looking and not stay there. I mean, it cannot be a good environment. I'll say nothing more. I know a lot, and I'll just say nothing more, but I wouldn't want to work there ever.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
Well, I got fired from my job today. Yup. And let me just say, it wasn't because I stole anything. I didn't say anything out the way to anybody. I didn't harm anybody or none of that. But 2025 is just a wild card. I don't know what is going on. And then they're talking about letting go of TikTok. What am I girl, listen, just take this let's just start over again, because it's just, oh my God. But these companies will literally use every drop of labor they can from you until they say, okay, we're done with you. You can go on about your business. Like, not even caring that, you got kids, you got bills, insurance, none of that. I do believe in a higher power, and I do believe that things are going to work out for me. To be honest with y'all, I really don't care about working on 9 to 5. That's never been my desire. So I don't know, y'all. Pray for me.
As of 2023, 200,000 Americans use TikTok to make money. 66% of that is their primary income, which comes out to be, I think, 140,000 people. Roughly, that means that there are mass layoffs happening. Everyone's talking about this like it's like people just losing a silly dance app. Meta and these conservative groups just potentially laid off 140,000 Americans. And if you count people who just use it for extra income, 200,000 Americans.
I have an in-person interview. It's the last stage of the interview process. This is the 4th one. It's in person, which is the first time that I've had an in-person interview since 2020, which is a very long time. I'm not doing a great job of self-regulating, so I'm a little bit nervous that my nervousness is going to make me crash and burn. But I'm trying not to think about it, even though I just said it out loud, which I shouldn't. Can we fix this eyebrow? I just kind of keep repeating to myself that I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be knowledgeable. So it's gonna be okay. Tell me that it's gonna be okay.
Today is the first day in over 5 years that I have not clocked into work. And it feels weird. Still processing it. But I'm excited for what comes next.
So I'm going to go ahead and say the quiet part out loud, which is after being let go from my last contract job right before Christmas, I will no longer be applying to any more jobs. No, I will no longer be applying to any more jobs moving forward. And I know you're like, Tiffany, that literally sounds insane. What are you talking about? How are you going to afford rent? How are you going to afford groceries? How are you going to afford life's necessities? Let me explain. As someone who has been working in corporate social media for the past couple of years, whether that be full-time, part-time, contractually, whatever the case may be, I've just realized that the positions are just way too high turnover. On top of, they want you to do the job of 5 people into one, and it's extremely underpaid and undervalued. And so I'm tired of looking for a job every 4 to 8 months, getting excited and pouring my passion and my energy into something, staying up countless nights, whether that's recapping an award show or whatever the case may be, and being dumped whenever they feel like dumping me. And after being able to grow my account this year on TikTok and reaching my goal, which was 10,000 followers, mind you, I hit 12,000 followers in December, so I superseded my goal. I've decided that I believe the reason why I can't keep a job is because God is trying to tell me I need to invest in myself. And I've tried to take the safe route for so long, y'all. But something in me is telling me that I have to bank on me. And I will say, thankfully, I do have a source of income through an opportunity where I will be able to afford my rent and a couple of other things. And this is a huge risk, but it's time. It's time. If I can build brands and grow their following and grow an amazing community for these brands and unfortunately get attached to the brands that I work with, I can do that for my own, for me, for Mommy Tiff, for the pop culture baddie. And this is not to say if an opportunity comes my way that I wouldn't, look at it and take it and see what it's about. But my point is that I no longer am going to be working myself up unless it is for me. And call me selfish, I don't care. But it's time. And if you're watching this video and you've been kind of on the brink of like, whether or not you want to invest in yourself as an entrepreneur, whatever the case may be, just investing in you, period, I say go for it. I might eat my words, in a couple of months, who knows, but hopefully not. I believe that God will always got me. He's always got me, and he always has. So with that being said, I just wanted to be transparent with you all and let you guys know what's going on in my life. So if you've been seeing me post a lot of content, not just here on TikTok, but also on my YouTube channel, it's because I finally have the time to. But also, too, it's because this is really what I want to do, and this is what makes me happy, and I finally have the opportunity to really go all in on myself, and I know I'm going to make it. So, yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for supporting me, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Love y'all. Mommy Tip out.
It is true that when your back is against the wall, you perform your best. And it happened to me as well, I had to find extra income as well. So I had a job, right? And then I started 3 YouTube channels at the same time. 3 of them at the same time. I have made over 350 videos by now, and I have over 2 million views in the past 7 months, and I have over 10,000 subs on all 3 of my channels. So it's like, if your back is against the wall and you have no other choice but to perform, you will get stuff done. You will just produce and continue to produce. And yeah, she's right about that. I have very personal experience with it, so I know exactly what she's talking about.
Just recently got laid off with my job yesterday, so definitely disappointing. I won't say anything bad about the company or anybody individually. I had some great time there in the 8 months, and man, it's brutal here in the job market for Gen Z and millennials. So if anyone's hurting unemployed, I'm there with you. We're gonna get through this. It's gonna be a great 2025. So I just want to do a life update up on here. Looking forward to whatever God's got planned for me next, and big years. So definitely disappointing, but not the end of the chapter, I guess I would say, with me. So I'm excited for the new year. Looking forward to whatever the Lord's got planned. So God bless.
So I was laid off. I have gotten most of my crying out, I think. I'm truly still just in shock. It has not hit. It hasn't hit me, I don't think. If you've never been through a layoff, no one can prepare you for how this feels. My husband has been laid off twice since we've been together, and even though it feels very close to home when that happens, you still don't know what it feels like unless it happens to you. But then coming on here and seeing that TikTok's probably going to be going away in 9 days is also like an extra little jab. So if you want to continue to follow along with me, I will be posting on Instagram the same username. This will definitely be an interesting journey. When you pray for an answer from God, be prepared for that answer. Yep.
So I just lost my job, and I fear God may have been trying to warn me about this, because this weekend I went to go out of pocket to go buy things that I can donate, and it was a couple $100s, but I wanted to do it to help people who have lost things in the fire. And in line, the guy behind me told me that he owned a business and that he would actually like to cover all the costs for me since I was going out of pocket. I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, that's so great. Like, I just saved like a couple $100s, even though I plan on now contributing some other way. And I fear that moment was God telling me, hey sis, you might want to hold on to that. That a couple $100, yeah, you might want to save on to that a bit. I got laid off. It's not fun. I've done my crying. But if there's any time for you guys to support my content, now is the time. In the meantime, until I find another job, I'm going to be going twice as hard with content creation. So any support and engagement is very much appreciated.
When I got laid off a month ago, I took it as a sign that the universe was telling me that this was no longer serving me. I was not happy at my job. I hated the commute. I felt like I wasn't contributing to the growth of the business. I really felt like my role had no impact whatsoever. I was also done with corporate America. I was growing on social media, and I wanted something that really served me. So when I got laid off, I took it as a sign of redirection. That is exactly what I'm doing. For me personally, it's more on the content creation route, but if you're looking for another job, view it as a sign of redirecting. Something also that I found really important is to continue to do my routine. I love waking up at 5 a.m. or 5:30, going to a workout class, getting my workout in. For me, it's very grounding to have a morning routine, so I highly encourage you to still have that routine that you had before getting laid off. And even if you didn't have a routine, build a routine, because I promise you, life will feel a lot more structured. Even though I don't have a 9-to-5 anymore, I'm still going to be using my 9-to-5 to put in the work. Whether that's looking for a job, networking, or building your own business like I am and content creating, I am using my 9-to-5 to work in, build my brand. Honestly, for those people looking for a corporate job, that's a job in itself. So that takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. So make sure you're using that 9-to-5 period to really look for something that you really want, something that serves you, something that's going to help you grow, whether that's a stepping stone or your dream job. You got this, and don't let getting laid off hold you back. Hope this helps.
I was just softly laid off from my part-time job. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I'm trying not to bawl my eyes out right now, but okay, it just happened a couple of hours ago. Basically, my manager slacked me today and was like, can you please explain the 30 hours work you did on your invoices? And she told me to just write all the work I did, the hours, the dates I worked on it, and kind of just explain that whole thing. So that's what I did. I sent it back to her. I explained that I worked on 3 different graphics and during that allotted time. And she kind of was just telling me that, like, truthfully, she didn't have enough money to pay me for it, and was like, instead of giving you 15 hours a week, can we cut it down to 1 or 2 hours a week to create the graphics? And I just wrote a really, really nice message saying that, to be completely transparent, it takes me a lot more time than that, because I have to come up with the concept idea, come up with the colors, source materials like the photos and everything. Like, I create like specific designed icons for this too, so it just takes me way longer than the 1 to 2 hours she allotted for me. And because of that, I was like, if it really doesn't work in your budget to pay me hourly, maybe we could discuss about paying it project to project basis. And when she replied to that, she was like, honestly, we just don't have enough money. And because we have a new advertising team now, I'll just reach out if there are any needs we need in the future. So I was basically just softly laid off, even though last week she asked me to design something for her within 2 hours, but I did it in 3 because it took me a little bit more time within that. And I had to explain to her that I did that basically as a favor to help her with her social media posts. But hey, because I did it so quickly for her, I guess that's why I got fired in a way, because she wanted me to do all these other posts super quickly. But yeah, that is basically how I got fired. Please, please, please understand that graphic design isn't just something that takes like an hour if you want it to look good and if you want it to be customized. So yeah, currently back on Indeed, job searching for another job, but hey, 2025 just started. The world's gonna be better, and I got this, and you got this too.
I've once again been let down by working in tech. For the second time in 2 years, I once again will be unemployed and searching for another job, which just like sucks for anyone who's been in this position. To all my crafty artsy people, it looks like I will have a lot of free time on my hands in the coming future. I have been a contractor for the last 1.5 years for the company that I work for, and they made it seem very promising that I would be able to come on as a full-time employee and continue to work there. I live close enough to the office. They keep saying I was like very vital to the process. I'm the only person left in this role who knows how to run these processes from start to finish. Like, I really feel like they like hyped me up, made it seem like it was going to be a possibility for me, but it's not. A lot of you who follow me on here know that I started a fabric business out of my apartment in December or November, and I will get to put lots of time into that, which is very fun. I think a hard part of being unemployed is trying to balance like how much time do I need to be applying for jobs, and it feels like it takes up like so much of your life. So hopefully I can take this as an opportunity to really work on my fabric business, and hopefully like maybe growing my TikTok and getting to create lots of things. But it definitely is just like a crushing moment right now, and not where I wanted to be, unfortunately.
Yep. If you are a contractor, you are the first to go when everyone is getting fired, honestly. First in, but first out. The very first person is a non-employee. I feel horrible that she was laid off, honestly. And I hope that her startup is very successful in the future. And yeah.
I was laid off at 6 months pregnant. Yes, you heard that right. 6 months pregnant. You know, the same song, same dance. If you were in corporate, if you're in tech, if you're in sales, it's like you can't even take it personal. But I took it personally because my job knew that I was expecting and that I was further along. So, you know, first thing that came to my mind was, ooh, I'm gonna lose my paid maternity leave. Wait, I'm not getting paid at all anymore. I didn't cry. I didn't ask why. I was kind of numb. I also knew that I was going to be okay. I'm not going to get on here and do this whole post your content thing because yes, it is that simple to post your content, but you got to have some fire under your ass when it comes to really setting out to do the things that you really want to do in life, whether that's growing on social media and monetizing on social media or doing anything. Like, now I talk a big game, and as much as I said, yeah, I'm going to monetize on social media, in the same breath I said, but I ain't quitting my job. And I feel like God kind of just hit me with that's fine. You don't want to make yourself uncomfortable. I will. I'll do that for you. With me getting laid off, that's kind of what that was, because I was just going to be juggling both of them. Now I'm kind of forced in that position to go all in and bet on myself and see if I could really make shit shake. Like, okay, you talk all that, I almost cursed. You talk all that mess on TikTok to your community about how much you're growing and how much you're utilizing your platform to make money and blah, 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 blah. Put it to the test. This is your only source of income now. What you gonna do with it? And my husband works a very good job, but we also live in a very expensive house. It's not that he relies on my income, but my income does kind of serve as a filler for if any bills kind of spill over or overlap, or like any sudden emergencies or things that we have to kind of take care of and tackle. That's where my income kind of comes in. So not having that, he wasn't necessarily nervous, but he was like, okay, what you gonna do? And I told him, I said, well, it looks like God is trying to either tell me I need to be a stay-at-home wife or that I need to take myself a little bit more seriously with this content creation stuff. And he said, okay. And I told him, I said, I'm going to make the same amount of money as I would have if I still had my 9-to-5 career. And he said, okay, I believe you. And literally it just poured into my content a little bit more, and I was able to make a content calendar and put my ideas on that and organize my brand deals and my brand collabs, and I was able to take on more brand collabs since now I don't have those 8 hours taking away my time. And guys, when I tell you, I was let go right before Halloween, and I have managed in these last few weeks every week to make the same amount, if not a little bit more, than I would have from my weekly salary. And I simply would not have known that that was something that could happen right
if you're unemployed, this TikTok is for you. So I was unemployed last year from January until June, and then I accepted a contract role, and now I've been not let go, but the contract ended, and now I'm back to being unemployed. And one thing I will say is this time around, it's not as hopeless. Like last year was so much worse. I was not getting any callbacks. It just felt like a different type of vibe. But this year, I'm getting so many more callbacks, and maybe I've gotten really good at being unemployed, but I don't know, the vibe is just a little bit different. So if you're feeling hopeless, it's much better. Also, if you guys need any like resume templates or how to use ChatGPT for every application, it's been like a game changer. So let me know. Also, I work in marketing, so if you're in marketing, I got you.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.